Hello, welcome. I am going to be walking you through my simple complexion routine for my makeup. I'm already in the process of doing a look. If you would like to see the full look, head on over to my Patreon. That's where this pink look is going to be. But as far as this video goes, this is going to be my complexion routine and what I do pretty much every time I do my makeup that's not my quick makeup. It's very simple. It's kind of just habit for me at this point. So if you want to see that, just keep watching. Yeah. For starters, my skin is feeling a little rough lately. I'm trying to do what I can to take care of it, just eating better, trying to eliminate some stressors in my life. You know how that goes. So yeah, I always moisturize and prime my skin. I just want an extra barrier in between my skin and makeup. That's what works best for me. My skin is combination very sensitive. So with that being said, I have already cleansed, moisturized, primed my face. I just started using this photo finish primerizer from Smashbox. I've used this a million times in the past, but this is actually one that they sent me. So Smashbox, thank you so much. I actually love this stuff, so win-win to say the least. So this is like what I view as like a blank canvas that I start with, and then I just go in with my foundation. I make sure I wet my beauty sponge. This is the Dose of Colors one. I think this is like their jumbo one. The texture is perfect. So this foundation is the one that I've been using for the last couple months. I'm obsessed. Dose of Colors in 105 Fair. I do have a code with them. I'll put it on the screen, save you 20% off anytime. You know the drill. You probably heard me say that before. So I just take that, dab my sponge on the back of my hand, and then just kind of start in the areas. I like more coverage in the areas of my face that are a little bit more red. So my chin, my cheeks, and apparently up here on my forehead where I'm breaking out. All right, so I take a little bit more, and just to kind of really over explain it, I start in the center where there is more redness with more coverage, and then just kind of drag it out so that I have the coverage where I really want it, and then the rest is just kind of a little bit more light. Then I will sometimes take the other end of the sponge and just kind of go over it. I really don't like foundation that feels heavy or cakey, but I specifically don't like putting on too much and then feeling like I've gone too far. So that's why I like using the sponge to kind of just like go back and forth between adding and then kind of making it a little more soft, if that makes sense. So same on my chin. I'll add more where I find that I want a little bit more coverage, and then just kind of take the other edge out. It sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is, and since I've been doing makeup on my own face for so long, it really is second nature. So you'll find out what works for you if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, but then same here. I put more on the center and then just kind of blend it all out. Try to get my hair out of the way. Blending, 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 blending. So there we go. At this point, I do set my face. I have gone a couple times without setting my face, and depending on what products I use, it really is fine. However, because this just happened, I honestly pretty much usually always set my face if I'm using liquid foundation. You've heard me talk about this powder probably a million times before, but what I have right now is the Huda Beauty. It's the pound cake powder. I don't really like it. I just use it because it's what I have, and yeah, that's it. So I will take a fluffier brush. This is the ColourPop F1. And then I just kind of take either whatever in the cap and just kind of swirl, pat my brush around. Maybe take a little bit more, kind of tap off the excess, like kind of pat it around. Really make sure that the powder is like kind of evenly distributed in the fluffy brush. And then I just kind of pat it around my face. If I had a powder puff that was nice, that would also work great, but I don't right now, and that's fine. So I just do that, maybe do it a little bit more, kind of, again. This powder, if you use too much of it, it will get cakey. straight up. That is why I don't really like it that much. So there's that. And now, if you don't do contour or bronzer or anything like that, then that is pretty much it for your complexion. Hold on, there's a hair that almost blinded me. So that's pretty much my base complexion done. Then the other thing that I pretty much do every time is use a contour powder. This is the Shade and Light one. This is the mini one from KVD in the shade Light. I love this stuff. This is Lucid and Sombra. I really hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But this shade specifically, wonderful. Angled, fluffier brushes like this are some of my favorite to do my contour with. This is the Dose of Colors angled contour brush. Just kind of pat into it, and I put it a little bit higher than like the actual hollow of my cheek. And I bring it a little bit up on my temples. Like so. Because I am so fair at the moment too, I don't really go in with bronzer. This is like contour slash bronzer in my head. It's not actually like bronzing my face, but you know what I mean. I will take a little bit up on my forehead. I used to take a lot up on my forehead, but just take a little bit up there. Like that. And then, because it kind of falls under the same category, I do kind of contour my nose, but not in the same way as like I used to. It's not very precise. I take this same powder on the ColourPop E7, and I just go where the natural like indents of my nose are. And then this little dip, that's what I do. Like that. So it looks a little crazy right now, but then I blend it out, and I can either go in with the same brush that I just used just to kind of soften it. But if I really just want to buff it, like if it looks a little too intense, I'll just take this brush, which has nothing on it, and just kind of go like that. And blend like so. Now this is what I would consider my complexion base, my simple complexion base. Technically it's just primer, foundation, powder, and contour. That's as simple as I like to keep it. Then obviously from this point I'll do blush, highlight, so on and so forth if I feel like it, but this is like the base, my starting point typically. I'll be right back when everything's all done. All right, I'm back. Obviously, the rest of the look is done. If you want to see this look, head on over to my Patreon. It will be over there if you're interested. If you want to, would really appreciate it. If not, no worries. No pressure. This kind of complexion starting like base, it's so easy to just go from that to this, like a full pink look. I can go straight to blue, any color. I don't feel like any of the things that I used before kind of clash with anything or whatever, and the contour powder is really great for that. So yeah, I hope that you found it helpful, maybe just as like a quick complexion type video slash walkthrough. I know oftentimes I kind of skip over it because I feel like it's kind of boring, or I get kind of, you know, just in my head about it. I'm like, you know, you've seen it before, whatever. Maybe you haven't. So here's just a separate video on all of that, and I hope that you liked it, and thank you for watching. Seriously, pink makeup is just on the front of my brain apparently. But let me know what you do for your complexion that's maybe a little bit different, or a tip that you have. I know that priming and moisturizing is a huge advantage for when I'm doing my makeup. But if there's something that you think I need to know that I maybe don't know already, please leave a comment. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Come hang out with me and chill. As always, I hope y'all are doing well, taking care of yourselves, and being kind to others. I will catch you in the next video. Bye! Bye! Yeah. See ya. Yeah. La, 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 la. The tiniest mouth.